And hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Harry Man Hoaxes and Hoodwinks. I'm your host, Nikki Cologne. I'd like to welcome everybody here. It looks like we've got a great group of people in the house. It is growing steadily. Good to see you all. So let's do it.
Planetary powers activate!
Woo! Kaboom!
And hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? Long time no see.
I know, like, yeah.
Like 2 minutes. Like 1 minute.
Like, okay, shut up. We got to start the show.
Yeah, yeah. Cut Leon off halfway off what he was saying.
Yeah.
Or I'm at special guest tonight.
I have a
What?
show.
Huh?
You guys are here for me.
Yeah. Like, whoops.
Anyway, it's all good. So yeah, let's
Oh my God!
We got. What?
Wait a second. We gotta come up with. Oops. We gotta come up with one for Nikki.
Yeah, we do.
I just squeak by. I just show up.
And then all of us collaborate and do one up for Nikki.
Oh my God, that would be scary.
Oh yeah, the hamsters are turning up here. They're turning.
No, stop it.
Might have to come up with something creative. Ooh, might have to like catch her singing. That would be a fun one.
Oh,
gosh. Yeah. Now I'm gonna be too careful about that.
Oh man, my big mouth.
Yeah,
ruined it.
Something. You had to say something.
Dang it.
Now you ruined it. You all ruined it. Well, welcome everybody. Guys. Welcome to the chat. I see everybody in there. Brown Dwarf, Mr. Lee and Michael and Angel and Alan and oh my God, you're all here. You know I love y'all. The
usual crowd.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go through everybody. Just because you're all
it's hard, it's hard to say hi to everybody. I try and do a howdy and have that howdy do like cover everybody in the room. Yeah, so it's like, it's really hard because it's like because sometimes I'm just listening in and I don't have a chance to respond, so I just put howdy. So just a disclaimer out there, if I don't respond back and say hi back, it's because I'm either listening in or I didn't see it.
What's the etiquette for that, Leon? You
I don't know.
Into the chat and you have to say hi to everybody. Do you have to text every single hello?
Yeah.
I'm still stuck at somebody who I know really well, but I forget their name.
Yeah, we should work on that. We should all come to.
I don't know.
We should come to some sort of a rules or something.
Yeah, I didn't say hi to you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, sometimes like Joe's show comes on right when I'm in the kitchen making dinner. So it's like I just put my little icon that I'm here and then I'm cooking, right? So I'm not like paying really attention, and then all these people are saying hi to me and I'm like, oh my God, I feel guilty. I'm busy.
On it.
I'm not talking because I don't know. I just want to listen to it. I don't want to engage anything. I just want to listen, absorb.
No, I'm the same way. I'll listen into a show, but I won't actually comment in the chat just because I don't have time to like respond. And I don't want to come off as like a bad person for like just saying hi, then not responding to anybody, so it's like, it's always like one of those fine walks in life you got to do.
Well, I usually do that. Good evening, everybody, and then people will blast their name, and then but I'm saying hi to all of them, but I just am not like. Plus, it's hard for me to type.
Yeah,
that's a lot. So sometimes I do when I'm sitting there, and I'm, especially if I'm on my computer, it's easier to do because it links it, But when you're on your phone or tablet, it doesn't do that, so it takes longer.
So going forward, if we just say howdy and that's it, that's cool. We don't. It's hard to say hi to every individual person.
Don't message me and say, "Are you mad at me?" I'm not mad at you.
Well, and to be fair too, a lot of times we'll be watching chat. We'll be saying, "Hey, so and so has a good comment." All like, so it's we're kind of trying to be all inclusive too. So I know it's Joe's here. Joe asked me about the show last night or tomorrow night. I'm thinking, God, I'm dealing with this bloody head cold. I could barely get to you. I slept from 5 o'clock. I went to bed at 5 last night. I woke up at 10 this morning, and then I slept all day to just before now, so I could see if I could actually, function.
Oh wow!
I think Brian has better things to do than to be on my show there, Trackway.
Oh no.
Never
know until you ask.
Trackway. No, but trackway means to replace you, Brent.
What? What? I bet you he
You're
was
being
on.
nice right now, but he meant to replace you.
Oh, Trackway. I bet you he was on the 22% that wanted me not to co-host with Sean anymore. I got you, man. I got your number, buddy.
I don't know why you're complaining either. Since you've been on Sean's show and Nikki's show, you come out of your shell. You're not just this bobblehead in the background. You know, you're
Still kind of am.
Well, yeah, but you're in a fun way. You gotta, yeah. So
Yeah, you're right, Uncle Bones. I could have named you the next 10 that come in. You're right. You're right. Could have done that. Could have, but I didn't. Okay. So
All right,
tonight
all right.
we
Yes.
have got a little bit different again. I'm asking questions. I'm always asking questions. And today's show, to tell or not to tell? That is the question.
Dun dun.
So tell me this. You see a Bigfoot. Do you tell somebody? Do you tell who? How many people in our chat right now are out of the closet? That you've told your families, you've told your work, you know, or is this your little secret? You know, who do you tell? And that's where my questioning started. Is there some type of ethical dilemma disclosing the fact that you saw Bigfoot? You know, how many people deal with that? Well, of course, I mean, I can tell you from my standpoint in the very beginning when I started doing this whole Bigfoot thing, it was just my interest. It was just something that I did on my own. I didn't share it with anybody. And it took me quite a while before I really let my family know that, yeah, I'm interested in Bigfoot. I love talking about Bigfoot. I get onto people's podcasts. I tell them my opinions. And it took a while to do that. And I never shared it with my work. Never. I never did share it with my work. Just because it's one of those kind of taboo things. You know, you don't want people, I didn't want people talking to me about, she's crazy. You know, she's crazy. She thinks Bigfoot's real because we're such a small community, you know, in comparison to the rest of society out there. Okay, we're a very small percentage of people who believe in the cryptids at all. And I showed you that on a previous show. So what about you guys? You know, is this just your own little thing you're doing? And what are the primary thing was what are some consequences for that? And these are a couple of the questions that I had in my mind was, well, how many of you have told your family and friends? Is it half of you are completely out with it and share it with your families, or half of you, no, it's just my thing? You know, I'm curious. So answer in the comment section there if you share. Just say share, no share. Simple. Simple. What about your work? Work yes, work no. I'd like to see some answers because I'm curious to know if this is something we you know have moved on and shared with everybody or not. I don't think very many people share. I don't think they share at this point. Jared,
I'll throw in a little thing here because Alan just said, hi, Alan, by the way, said something great. He said he didn't have to say anything at work because somebody at work caught Brent's show.
Oh, see, outing. Oh, that's another whole thing. How do you get outed, you know, for that?
Yeah.
Mine was I accidentally posted. I was supposed to post on my Bigfoot Facebook, but it went onto my regular Facebook page, and that's where my whole family is at. And for a long, long time, I did not accept people into my Facebook page because that I knew they were going to want to talk Bigfoot or whatever. My Facebook page, mine, the Nikki Cologne page, does not have anything Bigfoot related on it. So those of you who asked to be my friend, you're welcome to, but I don't talk Bigfoot on there. I still don't. It's pretty much just my food and my family and stuff like that. And joking around and stuff like that. But my Bigfoot Weekly is the main page that I share any type of Bigfoot stuff. So that's what's going out there. We kind of separate our two lives. And but how often does Bigfoot come up in everybody's day-to-day conversations? In mine, every day, because I'm online every day now. Something that I never did, something I didn't grow up with. I didn't even have a cell phone to 2000, I think. It's become just, part of our everyday thing. Is the first thing when you wake up, what do? Got my phone in my face, looking to see what's going on, what happened overnight in the Bigfoot world.
Well, it's not going to be helpful for you, Nikki, when you're having your morning coffee or tea and you're walking around with Joe's mug. And then your name's
I do. Yeah, because I've been doing a morning show with Jojo Bones in the morning, and I've got my cup of coffee in the morning with him.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about strangers coming into your house. So that's the other thing is, if you people keep sending you stuff, you're interested in stuff.
Right. At some point, people are noticing there's a lot of Bigfoot in my house. Yeah. But my daughter says that, Mom, there's a Bigfoot everywhere you look. And I go, not everywhere, just in this corner, in that corner over there, maybe over there above that counter.
She's right. She's right.
Just a couple of magnets maybe on the refrigerator. So, what was that, Trackway? Nikki replied heavily on digital cup and string communication. Hey, I was the what did you call those little dang it, beeper. I was a beeper queen for a little while. I had all kinds of beepers. I knew all the little codes, and you could send each other. You had to learn. Of course, you had to learn people's phone numbers back then. Do you remember that?
Well, it's helpful. Not like today. Got a flat tire, better phone Brent. I don't know what Brent's number is. I know his name is on my phone.
Right.
Best to call 911 on that one.
Man, you just had to know. You didn't need MapQuest to get you to your destination. You just knew where the streets were, and you were given an address, and you went and found it.
Thomas guides were big.
Right. So. I mean, I recently saw a video of a kid asking their parent, how did you guys get pizza delivered? And he went, what? He goes, how did the pizza guy know how to find your house back then?
Well, we used a rotary phone, which let me explain that one to you now.
Well, we have maps, and maps. You didn't have MapQuest. No, we had real maps.
Paper.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my whole thing is consequences. What? Look, keep it a secret. Some of you want to keep it a secret. Well, consequences for the person telling. What would be some of those consequences? For a job, there could be. There are some places that probably don't want you to be associated with, stuff, unproven stuff. I don't know. Has anybody?
I think what only 12% of the population or so believes in Bigfoot. So, I mean, it would be understandable if you did see one, why people might not believe you or might feel to, make fun of you or give you a little giggle or something like that, because it's something that's not widely believed. So it's a sense of arrogance on their part. And it's something that the person who had that experience just has to be confident in what they saw and understand where we're at as a society with not knowing, not knowing that they actually do exist. And so when we do come across people that do talk about them existing, it's a little hard for people to really go down that path, because it's just not established yet.
But what was I lost my train of thought now. Do you think now it's probably a little bit more, easier to come out maybe in some jobs, seeing this whole new movement of everybody being able to do or be whatever they want, and things might be a little bit looser at work. And also a lot of people are working from home these days, so they don't have to really worry about that. But let's say in the black, the tie, the suit community that go to work, is that something that's considered cool if, lawyers and doctors got their office full of Bigfoot stuff? How would that look? What is it? Any implications to that? Professional?
Yeah, well, I guess if you're asked if your job is that of needed credibility, then believing in or supporting something like that publicly might question your personal integrity, I guess, in a way, because you are promoting and believing in something that what a lot of people think is fantasy. So that could jeopardize. I can see in certain fields, if you're a lawyer or somebody who is just in that position of whatever.
Heck, everybody's crazy now. Tell all.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I mean, I would, because if I was confident in what I saw, I'd have no problem telling people, select people. I wouldn't go blast it at my work and tell all my customers or whatever, because it's not appropriate, so it's really, you got to pick and choose when you really want to talk about it. I remember when I first got into the subject, I just talked about Bigfoot all the time to everybody. And, that kind of starts to wear on people after a little while, like my family, first off. My kids, they're like, oh, man, we can't even watch a Bigfoot movie anymore. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, be careful sometimes who you talk to and how often you talk to them, because, they might not be as passionate as you are.
And yes, Matt, go ahead. Go ahead, Leon.
I was going to say, I don't want to get too ahead of the horse, because a lot of these stuff we're saying is probably better held back for later on after you go through your points there a bit, because I think you can tell anybody anything if you know what you're talking about. Usually, if you know what you're talking about, then you can say in the narration that it doesn't matter who you're talking to. I mean, I work in the mental health profession. How many times do you think people say, you're into Bigfoot? You deal with people's brains? Yeah, I do. It fits for my kind of thing. But I get to say, oh, yeah, he's into Bigfoot. Oh, really? Because it perks them up. They don't know what to do with that, right? And then on top of that, I get to say, because it's a system of belief. It's a belief system. I deal with belief systems. So quite nicely with how, and even what we're going to be talking about in regards to a remedy for tonight is about a belief system about yourself. Do you trust yourself or don't you? Because if you trust yourself and you're still haven't worked that issue through where you truly trust yourself, you're chronically worried with anxiety what other people think of you. It's like a form of codependency. So it's going to make you regulate. And Brent is correct too. You just don't throw your pearls before swine. You find out whether or not the audience is even interested in it. Well, first of all, why do you need an audience for this? So I guess maybe this would be a good question too, is if it's a personal thing like Jay had and Joe had and that, they're going to find people that they trust or feel safe with, and they're going to put some stuff out. For instance, Joe's coffee mug, which I don't have next to me. I could do a plug for it right now, but you might. Where you put
it's in there.
See, like at work here, because I get a lot of the mental. Yeah, I get a lot of mental stuff too. I get a lot of people from the mental association show up every day, right? And I have Sasquatch stuff all over the place. And I'm surprised at how many people know people whether they're married to them or they had some kind of experience in the bush that was Sasquatch. And I don't say anything. They just start talking. And then we start talking, and they love coming over all the time. They don't even do what they're supposed to be doing over here. I just want to visit them. It's interesting. And I think that's the key part. If you know the truth about yourself, you'll have healthy boundaries to deal with some of this stuff. I don't want to talk about this all right now, but
right. Well, I think Jay had a good point over here, is that things have changed. Things have definitely changed in, throughout the generations, because, back, say, when Jay had his sighting, he kept it to himself. It was stuff that wasn't talked about. But now, people are a little bit more receptive. They may have their opinions about it, but you can do it, and I think there's a little more acceptance there.
Well, maybe if all of us got together and we started believing we're Sasquatches running around telling everybody, well, I believe I'm a Sasquatch. Or there'd be so many people, because there's thousands of us. Oh, but there's so many people because there's Sasquatch. They must be real. Oh, we finally proved it to everybody,
Right.
I feel like a Sasquatch today, so therefore I am. Okay, there we go.
So if we think about it, for the person telling their secret, I believe in Bigfoot, or I saw Bigfoot, I saw one, and they tell their job, could there be consequences? There could be credibility, like what Brent said. There may have triggered some kind of moral decision making, or can they still function as, are they not functioning correctly to do their jobs? It could be something like that. I'm not saying for all jobs. I'm not saying all jobs give a hoot. They may not care at all, or they may think it's a blast. Oh, okay, that's something to talk about around the lunch table. But I know I never did. I never did in the job I had for many years. It was just my own thing,
and why?
I never shared it.
I
never shared it because it was more professional. It was more of a, I didn't want to be thought of as losing my mind. Why would you be looking for something that is non-existent? Because I worked with a lot of people who did not believe in that, were part of that other group that they're, I don't know if we would call them more level-headed. I don't know if that is correct to say, but they were pretty what you see is what you get type, and not, that wasn't something you see or talk about. So I never did. You just get a feeling about the people you're with, and I guess that's where the whole line of feeling people out before you reveal, well, I'm kind of interested in Bigfoot. I like to dabble with that, and but it took me quite a while before I said, hey, I got a podcast, come watch me talk about Bigfoot.
But yours is a good one too, because yours bridges the gap between kind of the non-believer and the believer. I don't like using those terms.
Right. I'm still a skeptic, but I believe.
Yeah, so that's what's interesting, that and I guess that's the key part, and I harp on this, is do what you're interested is, then you'll own it, and then you can say, yeah, well, I have a YouTube channel. Oh yeah, what's your YouTube channel on? Oh, it's on Bigfoot. Bigfoot, yeah, I do. It's called Hairy Man and Hoaxers. Oh, what's it interesting about? So you have a balance. So already
right.
You're not saying one way or the other way. You have a nice balance, and that's the way how people, when you're introduced a new idea to them. I'm sitting here looking at your list there, and I'm thinking about, just change the topic of Bigfoot and put the person there for the 4 main ideas of consequences. You had a child molester in the family. What's the consequences to you for telling that? What's the consequences for you for those people? I don't want to hear the truth about that. So there was that. You can go down any topic in this position here. Your professional loyalty. Well, professional loyalty. You don't go against the great leader. A North Korean leader or Putin. You don't go in. You don't say anything negative against him. So professionally, you're gonna keep your mouth shut. And that's the key part is, if you were younger and you never, like, put it this way, when your brain has all sorts of empty files when you first start off. And then what happens is you end up getting this file called trust. And it opens up, like that. And all of a sudden, every kid, a little toddler, you're running up to all these people and all that kind of stuff. And you don't give a shit. You're up and down things. That's why your parents are grabbing you all the time. But you trust everything. You trust parents, grown-ups, dogs. You might have some kind of weird thing towards spiders or whatever like that. But you have a trusting regulator at that point. And then you're on the playground with one of your friends who's 3 or 5, and you say to them, "Look, I got a secret, but don't tell anybody." And they go, "Okay, I won't tell anything," because all of them would, right? And then, so what happens is that kid goes and tells the teacher, or whatever it is, or your parents, and then your parents come back, and there's an implication that happens to you. So another file opens up, which is called distrust. So you have one file that used to be trustworthy, you trusted all the time, and now you learned about distrust. And so that's what we're dealing with as adults today. When you look at these kind of symptoms, is how do you break the difference between the trust and the distrust? But it's also about files about the good stuff you done and the bad stuff you did, the moronic you and the brilliant you, the cowardly you and the heroic you. And when you embrace both of those parts of yourself, then you have nothing to hide. But it doesn't mean I have to go and tell everybody everything I'm into all the time. Is it interest in doing it? Then, well, that's interesting. Or you throw seeds out, like, and you see which people nibble on whatever idea you're kind of interested in, and then that gives you another chance to negotiate that kind of stuff too. I think it's really important that somebody, like, especially for Jay and a few other people, that if you don't have the right people, you've had a lot of distrusting people in your life, especially if they're authority figures or family figures, you're going to have a hard time going to the right person, especially if they turn to mock you on other incidents in life that you did where you're trying to be honest about something, but it was so ridiculous to the adult, they shamed you. So you're going to still carry that in your system. So you just want you to reach. I'll tell you what to feel. I'll tell you what to think. I'll tell you what to see. You didn't really see that. Come on, that's silly. Don't be stupid. You didn't see that. But what the person saying that to the individual, what they don't understand is the person is saying that. They might even not even have the right words to say it. What tall man? Right. I didn't say toddler Sasquatch in the back of a moose. I said a monkey. Because at the age I was at, that made sense. Right. Not only that, it was like, here is George, no tail. It didn't have a tail. And I didn't say chimpanzee. I said monkey. Curious George. All that lingo using is the lingo of a little kid trying to explain something that didn't make any sense to him. And then I got ridiculed about it. So did I say anything about that? And that's all power people in my life, my brother, my siblings, and my family, my mom and dad. And I'm starting a car as I'm making this declaration. And yeah, you could probably say it, but I was embarrassed. That's why I asked you, why didn't you tell anybody? Because there's an embarrassment you feel. If you look in your emotions, well, why wouldn't I share that around a campfire kind of thing? Because there's kind of an embarrassment to that, I deal in mental health profession. Great. Yeah.
I think I had more conversations about me being interested in the subject with my family and friends than I ever did at work. Right. I think that was the hard no for me, that was where I was going to keep that separate from this. They were two different things. And yeah, I could easily, break down and, oh, I am interested in this and this, I talk about this and all that goes with Bigfoot commentary or any of that line. But work, no, that was professional. That was just work. And that's that.
No, and again, the context wouldn't fit a conversation like that. Maybe on the water cooler or something like that, or somebody saw something, or something was on the news, then everyone would be talking about it, and then you'd be smiling away. Yeah, I told you guys.
Well, they don't. I worked with a lot of guys, and they love to talk about hunting and fishing and all their extracurricular things, but I nope, nope, don't talk about, going out hiking looking for Sasquatch. That just, no. That just wasn't something. Yeah, oh, I went camping this weekend. It was fun. That's about the extent of that. it would
Well,
go.
again, Matt, it'd be kind of good to get Matt on here. Matt, are you still in chat there? Sorry, I couldn't get together with you last night. I was sicker than a dog, but it'd be good to have Matt on because he's went through the whole thing and it's fresh for him. It's like 2 years, right?
Right.
And there's that Kool-Aid, like Brent was talking about. There is like a religious Kool-Aid addiction that happens with Sasquatch, and just like any other religious, awakening of the people, you've met people like, I become a Jehovah's Witness. I become a. Now, don't start flacking at me if I start saying what type of traditions you come out of. That's not what the point. The point is that you get gung ho about it. And the problem is you look like a crazy person because the other people aren't even coming close to, the angle you're coming at. So it's better to take time, get rid of that addiction side like Brent and I both had to do, and start seeing objectively. So you're back to being yourself again instead of the addiction idea of whatever happens to be that's shooting off your endorphins left, right.
And you can also often identify those people too that are recently addicted to the subject because they are just really they're not very objective at all. So they're really hard to talk to, especially if you try to talk to them about evidence or something like that. Those are the type of people that usually have that problem there.
Yeah, I think most people. I think the biggest people you're going to buck up to people in the community, the Bigfoot community, not the people in the world are going to, of course, they're going to think what they're going to think. They don't know what any of the inside information that we know. I mean, think of Brent, where you and I are, and who we're connected up now, and how we see what's actually going on in the Bigfoot scene. Even though other people were trying to tell us, but we just weren't ready to hear it, or weren't able to hear it the right way or see it the way they were seeing it. And then the eyes are open and you're going, oh my God, what have we walked into, So
yeah, there's going to be that turning point, and whatever that turning point is for you or for everybody else, it's going to be different, but there's going to be a turning point for it. And I agree, Matt had that recent turning point, and it was just really interesting to see his journey from where he was at, just fresh coming into it like we were, and luckily stumbling upon the panel discussions that we all had over the last many years and stuff, couple of years or so, and how that really kind of transformed his investigation into something of more clarity of where we need to be on more. And then that's when other people start springboarding off that, and next thing you know, things are a lot better.
Oh yeah, totally. And that's
right. Tristan, I don't think you need to share personal stuff at work. I don't. And I agree with you. My eyes with my job, I didn't do that. That was something that I kept to myself. I didn't share a whole lot of personal stuff anyway, because, you get some jobs, you get into situations where, you tell one person and before you know it, the whole dang place knows your business. Mm-hmm. So, I think that also you can have to take that into account too. So, I knew that, and I wouldn't, disclose. I disclosed very little information about myself at my job, but I agree with you. So this whole idea of what about for the person you're telling? Does any of that have any bearing to, say, your family when you told your family, for the first time? Did your kids, Brent, have an effect when you said, hey, I'm really interested in this, I'm going to go out and do this and look for this? And how did they react?
Skeptically, of course. They're smart, and they kind of entertained it for a little bit, and then after the whole tree incident, it kind of they were more honest about it, I guess, like how it's not real and stuff, which I get,
yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know, they were younger though, and so I was able to rope them into it a little longer than I could have when they're older now they just kind of laugh, but I still give them back. Like if I have to go take them for a ride or something and I go pick up a friend, I keep a Bigfoot cast in my car, so I'll just put that in the seat there. So, they'll have to, when the other kid comes in, it'll be a good conversation starter right there. Good way to embarrass the kids, at least. So get that in return.
That's bad.
It's come full circle.
Yeah, they can use it for fuel on you. when your neighbors come over, Dad believes in the Sasquatch.
Yeah. I know that my kids have given me that sideways look several times, and they still do. And, especially my older kid, she just, give me that, really, you're upset about that? Because, things happen, and the drama happens in the Bigfoot thing, and I spout out about it at some point, and she's like, Mom, you're really upset about that? She kind of brings me back to reality that, this is where we are right now. You're here at home. You don't have to worry about that. It's okay. And I'm like, you're right. It's okay. I'm just, I get so involved, and I've tried to keep myself grounded, I guess. My sister, hello sister, I see you, love you. Grounded. I know she's always telling me to try to stay grounded. So,
well, that's what the kids do. They're like one of your anchors for the, because you got to keep balance in life, and kids are one of those anchors, so you don't go off the deep rails, in belief or whatever. And so, it's you're right. You got to have people like that in your life to kind of keep you sane in a way.
Right.
They do. Kira Skipton, Thomas Steenberg. I'd be in the chat. Jason.
So, okay. So, do you feel that, say you run into an encounter, you have an encounter, and what about the whole idea that people feel that you have to disclose that information, that you're doing some kind of disservice to the community for not sharing? Should that be a thing? Because I feel like it's
it depends. I mean, there's so many variables here. Jay comes out of the bush, he sees something. It's important for him to tell the world. I'm going to videotape and put it online tomorrow. No, that's not very fair for Jay, because he's still processing it. If it's a person who's, again, I know I would never, and I told this before, so I'm not hiding anything. I would not come to the Bigfoot online scene to show people what I've got. I would show people, and this is what we've been working for a few years, last couple of years, is a group of people that I trust, that I can be called my own card on. So I would send them the information, because if I have something good, and we've all talked about this, is you better vet it, because someone is going to vet it. So before I'm sending it out there or something like that, I want to send it out to people because maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm missing something, and that goes back to that honesty of yourself. Is if you really are solid in yourself, you're gonna want to know what you're actually looking at. What am I actually looking at? Is it what I think I'm putting on as a definition, or is it what am I experiencing? Is it the definition that I am putting on it? Like I always say this to people about, look, I don't doubt what you're saying is happened to you, but I'm questioning the definitions you're putting on it as being the narration of that's how it happened to you. Do you guys follow that?
Yeah.
That makes sense. And the idea of, so if somebody comes out, we don't know, like some of the hunters we dealt with, when a wife sits there, said the blood ran right over his face, Leon, like he can't even, I knew something was up. And then she's going to ask him. Well, the good thing is it's his wife. She's going to say, what's going on? Your blood ran out of your face, and that I think I saw a Sasquatch should be the guy's first words out of his mouth. If you guys are interviewing somebody, that should be the first. I think I saw a Sasquatch, because that tells you a lot of data instead of going right to a Sasquatch. Unless he's bawling, sobbing, and saying, "I saw a Sasquatch. I don't know what to do. I'm going crazy. I think I'm going crazy." But in most cases, your brain's going to do the opposite of what you think it's going to do, which is going to try to disprove to you what you actually saw. And we have this all the time when you come across things that are unknown to us. First, it'll go to what we think it might be, and then your brain will wrestle with that. Left and right hemisphere will wrestle with, is that really what I saw? Did I really, even if you have if you've had a bear attacked by a dog, did that really just happen to me? You hear people say, that just really happened to me. Yeah, that just really happened to me, because you're in shock, right? It's like you're detached from a part of your sense of self. So yeah, I mean, it's important that, like, when you have people like Jay that have held it their whole life, think of that. You have a whole section, a whole box in your life that has a big question mark in it. And now you have to negotiate. It's hard enough to negotiate through life when you just have a couple of small question marks. You have one big one, and you're never allowed to talk about it.
Right.
So you go through your whole life trying to figure out, who do I talk to? What can I talk to? Well, shutting up works really well. So you just told your brain, shut up, don't say anything to anybody, because it works really well. And then you go on, years will go by. And then you find somebody who talks about it. And that problem with the question marks is it always itches. It keeps itching. And eventually it comes up to your frontal cortex and says, I'm still here. You want to look at it now or what? It doesn't matter what the topic is, whatever that question mark is. And the idea for us is to provide a different style of soil around us, so that people will feel good about us, or they'll know who to phone or contact or reach out to, and do the same process we all had to do. The truth is going to set you free, but you're going to be pissed off because you didn't think you're that receptive to be taken by ideas and thoughts and stuff, and you are. I'll quit right after this. Look up the documentary online. That's Ancient Aliens Debunked. It's about 3 hours long, and you watch it 3 sections. But it tells you how people get sucked in, and because of the narration they provide, but it also tells you the evidence showing their narration is totally wrong. But it sounds really good. But that's what sucks you in, right? So, anyways,
do you think that all that is what causes some people who do disclose or do that, they feel the pressure, and that causes them to possibly do dishonest things? Can that make them?
I think again, see, there's difference, because look at you. I would trust you if I met you in the street. I would trust you. I would probably trust Brent. I would probably trust Steve, Matt, variety of people. I won't say everyone's name, but it's not online. It's a different community online. It's a different reality online. And so the problem with a lot of people that are demanding this stuff from the online scene haven't created a soil. There's a few of the personalities, because we have people who said, first time I talked to this story was Pat. I think Jay mentioned that about Pat. And this first time I talked about this was Steve Culls, or Steve's Cures Cryptid, or me, or Brent, or you, or whoever. It doesn't really matter. But there's a soil we've created around us where we do want to know, and we do understand. We do understand the confusion. So there's those reality of people like Joe and Jay that did experience the Sasquatch. Or you have the ones that might not have, but don't know what they've seen. And so they need to ask too, because if they make a phone call to some of these other people that are out here where they're talking about woo-wish stuff, they're already going to be tainted. Their clear glass of water of the event is what we're trying to keep, so we can see what is inside there, not other ideas that are coming in from other sources. So, and again, if you want to, you're going to want to shut up if you don't trust people. But I got this itchy question that I've had ever since I was a childhood, I mean, I can get really deep here, but I don't want to hog your show. So I'm not.
Well, I mean, it's all linking to how we deal with, that's the subject. How do we feel about it? How do we feel exposing that? Is it something that we're completely open to talk about with people and allow people to say whatever they want to say? Or, is it something that it's not acceptable in society to talk about?
Well, I also think it comes down to who the person was before they had the sighting. Is it somebody that had trust issues? Is it somebody that had, issues with talking about things that they felt was important but was, dismissed or discarded or whatever? So that also might play in a factor of someone's decision about coming forward, because they might not ever had a life of being able to come forward and be honest and talk about things that they've truly experienced, because they've never had that space to. And like Leon's saying, we're kind of creating a space for people to, there's spaces for people to have, these type of discussions. But, I think some of it has to come down to how the person was before the sighting, what their psychological condition was.
Well,
I think.
Go ahead, Nikki.
I was just going to say that I think my interest was more trying to figure out how this whole, as Thomas would say, this whole Ivan Marks syndrome comes about. Okay. How do people maybe they did see something at one time, and then all of a sudden now they find themselves in this different situation where they're going to create.
Well, I think there's a little game that the brain plays, which is the person who is like the Ivan Marks syndrome, who says he has an experience and has had an experience with Sasquatch, but it hasn't had any. But he wants to get more information about it. It's funny how the brain likes to and nail everybody in chat, including all of us on the panel right now. We lie all the time. You lie to yourself all the time. But you don't see it as lying because the way the brain presents it in your body as an idea, and the idea is kind of like a game for you. And so you're not really unless you see harm immediately in another person over a lie you do. There's no signal to your senses to tell you that this is a lie unless you carry some kind of mode of ethics or morality in your system already that you got from growing up. But the idea of and then you got the sociopathic, narcissistic people that are just out to not only hoax you, but to stir the pot. That's why they hoax you, because they thrive in that emotional environment of, watch again that on your opening there where you have that with Steve and what's his name on there, Dyer on there. I mean, you can just feel as the viewers. You guys remember this when we were watching it? You could feel the turmoil, and we're watching. We're not even part of this story, but we can feel the turmoil in our own houses, in our own environment, and that's what those style of people are doing. Getting back to what you're talking about a bit with Brent too is, look, you can only be as honest with yourself as you're going to be with your evidence. So if you had something that was really, really serious, look at little kids that have serious things they need to tell an adult to, that we always say, you tell an adult if something happens. Hey, Steve. And in that kid is struggling inside of their head with information of who to tell and what not to tell. Who wants to look ridiculed? Who wants to look like an idiot? Who wants to look like embarrassed? Who wants to look all this kind of stuff? I might look that way, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything I'm going to say is not going to be the truth. But those are negative feelings, awkward feelings in my body compared to the negative, positive one, like Jay finally gets at the young age of 35. I'll say, Jay, you owe me is to say at his age where he trusted us enough, where he brought it out on Steve's show too when he said that story, and we all just shut up and listened to him. So the other thing about, we're all worried about telling people. The only reason why we're worried about telling people is we're not very truthful with ourselves, or we're not solid enough in ourselves. Because if we're truthful about what our lives, we can tell it to anybody. I'll finish off on this one if I get the quote correctly. When my mom passed away, I designed her headstone and did her headstone up. And I put a quote on her headstone from Dr. Seuss that says, "Say what you say and mean what you mean, because those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter." Meaning that you always speak your truth to the people that care about you, because they don't give a shit. They understand your rawness of your own humanity. They accept you for the one only person that you are. These other people who don't, they also have a right to also process what you just said to them. Oh, by the way, everybody, you're having dinner. I saw Sasquatch last night. Great, that'll go real well. Right. Conversation around the table. But these people also that do believe in you, do trust you, and do care about what you say, and do care about what you're talking about. They'll need some time to process. I deal with a lot of people who are professionals, PhD people. You're into Sasquatch, Leon? Yeah, I'm into belief systems. They can understand the belief system, but once they start, when I'm using that on the belief system, I'm also talking about their own personal belief system. And what happens is I can bridge a gap from Bigfoot into their personal belief system and put them on a hot seat, because they're all talking the same thing we're talking. Well, you have to be objective and all this kind of stuff. Okay, well, let's see how objective you are in regards to this belief system you carry that you hold true. you know,
right.
because there's no sacred things. So I think what you do, what Brent does, and what Steve does, and Matt does, I'm so proud of watching what Matt's been doing with the PG thing. Again, that's a big thing. Does he tell? What happens if he finds out there is a big flaw? Does he tell? Does he come online? Is he obligated to come online and tell us all of that? Or is it something he just keeps in his tickle trunk for down the road as something? And you got to stick to your guns. Where did the evidence take you? Be careful.
Right.
Exactly. Look at, I thought that cat was a hand that came.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
My floating cat again.
Floating.
Floating, freaky hand, hairy hand. I thought you were set up, Nick. That's a good one.
She's gonna ruin something, or he's gonna ruin something.
Yes. That's
Go
right.
over there. Go, not right.
If it's on video, man, it'll be a lot cooler.
Yeah.
No, then I'll end up with my intro.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, we could do that. That is a good one.
Wow.
Well, that's
Show me what you got. Show me what you got comes out of her head.
Oh man. Okay. Well, let's just move on from that topic.
Yeah.
I think we're all ready to just move on. It's just chit-chatting about things that concern me. You know, what are the consequences if there is consequences, and how many people don't tell about their secret Bigfoot life? You know, I don't know. It interests me because I was there at one point, you know, where I didn't tell anybody, and now I do. It doesn't bother me anymore. But I'm also not working, so that's another thing I don't have to really deal with. So anyway, hope you are taking notes, Matt, Central Florida Bigfoot, because there will be a test at the end. There will be a test. Oh, okay. So it is time again for Nikki's Notions. If you want to keep a secret from an enemy, tell it not to a friend. Think about it.
Didn't Matt just say something about that with the whole PG thing?
It's weird, huh? How it all kind of links.
Well, I would definitely keep that a secret. If he wanted it a secret, I'd keep it a secret for sure.
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody anything, because I'm telling you, the grapevine, it's really there. It really, you know, it happens. My dog is choking.
I mean, I think if it's presented in a way that is infallible, then there's no reason why you can't talk about it, discuss it, or whatever, you know, or present whatever you got going on.
Yep. For sure. Okay, here's your favorite part.
Show me what you got.
Jim, you heard them said, show me what you got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
I love Rick and Morty.
There he is.
All right, so now it's time. I have one for you that we have some answers. There has been a Bigfoot photo that has been around for a very long time. And although I knew it was fake, I never had why. I never had who did it or anything. And all that information has come out. So this photo that you see, you know, quite often, it's been all the way around, is the property of Dale Odell out of Arizona. The photo is not authentic. It's a picture, is an illustration, and was never intended to be published or presented as real. He made the image in 2008 and actually has a copyright to it. So I'm giving Dale Odell full credit for this photo that we are seeing here. And you can find it on Google Images. It's out there. Okay. So it without any watermarks or anything. So I am using it according to fair use. So there you go.
So it pays to hoax, huh?
So it's it doesn't really say why he made it. I don't have that information, but it is copyrighted and he has the documentations. And
I don't know. It looks pretty real to me. Look at the muscles in there. You see the muscles?
He drew them right on there.
Send it to Thinker Thunker. Let's get his approval.
Oh yeah, somebody send it over there, and he'll find.
He'll make it into an old man walking.
Some other kind of information about it, but
it'll be a Bigfoot somehow.
All right, but this information's going around the internet, so I'm sure you'll see this again somewhere else. But now you all know, because that's what I do. Show you the truth.
That's the truth.
Now, we have a be on the lookout, and I was going to do a cool little siren with that, and I forgot. There's a be on the lookout.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
you can get a flashing light too, by the way, off of YouTube.
I know. I need to figure out something.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
On Google, you can get it, and you can just paste it right down on your thing there.
Right there. I want to let everybody know about Tate Hieronymus's Search for Sabe. His docuseries he has out. He's got 3 episodes out right now. The first one being his Iowa, and then Bluff Creek, California. And his 3rd episode is Bumping Lake, Washington. And I have to say, it was great, all 3 of them. And kudos to Brent and to Tristan, who were in that 3rd episode. Great job.
It was all Tristan. He was the man.
He was
the legend out there.
He starts it all out.
He does. Yeah. Well, he's been there a lot, and he's really informative and knows a lot about the area. So it was a real joy to have him there, because I was telling Tay, I'm like, dude, it's the first time I've been here, so not much I could say about the area. You need to talk to Tristan about all that.
Well, I want to know more. I want to know more about what that guy saw walking out there, and you guys were all like running to him, to see what had happened.
Oh yeah.
That was like, whoa, what did he see?
Yeah, and you can actually have that event on 2 different channels. So I filmed that event on my channel too, on the Bumping Lake expedition. And now you can go watch it on Tate Hieronymus's documentary here. So you get to see, a same, outing from different perspectives. So that's kind of cool.
So is there a link down below here for that?
There will be.
There will be. Did I put it already? I think I put it already. It should already be in the description. It's on Tate's page, his YouTube page. So you can find
just
it
on a side note, in regards to where our first topic was about sharing, show us what you got. Let's put it on Nikki's show. And don't get personal.
Don't get personal.
We won't get personal either. It's the evidence we're looking at, not
Right. Yeah. You can send me anything you want from the internet you find. Just go ahead and send it to harrymanhoaxes@gmail.com. And we can get it onto the show. And once again, you can find Tate Hieronymus' Search for Sabe docuseries on his YouTube channel. So you can find that as well, for sure. And next we have got Bigfoot in the news. It is time. Let's pull that up. That's on a whole different place. Here we go. And last week we didn't have very many, remember? Well, this week we have like 4 that popped up.
I'm excited.
So this first one, not very credible place. It was the Daily Star. Bigfoot killed in car crash being covered up by police, conspiracy theorist claims. Some people in the online Bigfoot community reckon the recent incident where a bear was hit by a car and died actually involved a Sasquatch and that authorities are covering it up. This was the 26th of November. And a conspiracy theorist reckons that people are covering up the death of Bigfoot after it was hit by a car. News outlets in California reported that California Highway Patrol were called to the state's Highway 89 on November 23rd, shortly before 3:30, following reports that a sedan had smashed into a bear. Officials said that the bear was left dead following the crash, and there was significant damage to the vehicle. However, some people in the online Bigfoot community are not buying that version of events. Reddit user Bigfoot something doesn't say big page suggests that it may have actually been a Sasquatch that was killed. In the post titled Bigfoot Hit, they wrote, interesting story coming out of California Highway 89 closed, not even letting news crews in. Apparently a bear walking on two legs was crossing the Highway 89 and was hit by a Ford SUV, and the animal was killed. Interesting why they will not let news crews in and have Highway 89 closed. California Fire, CHP, and Forestry Department responding to the accident. What else does he say? Even if it was the big guy, they're going to cover it up. So there you go. That is that story.
Lots of ads on that article. Lots and lots of ads.
I hate that page. Yeah.
Tons and tons. And there was this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I took the bait. I clicked it. And I had to click for the next 20 minutes for nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Facebook gets me on that sometimes, like the little things I'll click on. I'm like, ooh, I want to see that picture, see the history behind it, and some. And then
thought it was gonna be nice, and I go, well, I'll just click through it and get to the meat of it, the end. But I never reached the end. It was horrible. It was a bad one.
Yeah, I usually get frustrated, like, oh my God, I got sucked in again. I'm gone.
And each time you click, it's like one sentence, and then you have to click again. Next.
Yeah, I hate that.
Okay, come on. Move along. The next one was 4 days ago, and it is not going to come up. There it comes. This one is out of the Wolf, Hudson Valley's new country. Bigfoot spotted creeping through the woods in, hold on, Poughkeepsie, New York. So is Bigfoot looking for a Thanksgiving meal in the woods of Dutchess County? Bigfoot's Hudson Valley history. It's your monthly Bigfoot sighting report. See, that's how Mr. Lee should open up his British Bigfoot report. It's your monthly Bigfoot sightings report. Whether you believe they exist or not, the Hudson Valley is a hotspot for Bigfoot activity and fans. After some digging, we actually found that there have been over 30 years of Bigfoot encounters across the Hudson Valley. We can now add another sighting to the list. Latest Bigfoot sighting in 2022, Poughkeepsie, New York. The Bigfoot researcher of the Hudson Valley shared on their Facebook page that the Poughkeepsie woman reached out with a story about a possible Bigfoot sighting. The woman wrote in the message to Bigfoot researchers founder Gailey Beatty, I saw something the other night right here in Polk. She told Beatty that it was around 8 or 9 at night and added that she was looking down at her phone while her dog ran around outside. After a few minutes, she lifted up her head up to see where the dog went, and that's when she spotted a strange creature under the streetlight. The Bigfoot witness explains, I was looking around and then I saw something lighter color walking. Now was under a streetlight so I could see clearly, and I had my glasses on. It did not have any clothes on. I kept saying to myself, what the hell am I looking at right now? So that's the gist of that story. I guess that's a print there. And
sure is.
That's about it. Oh, look. It's a picture of the Beacon Bigfoot. What else? Ron English Bigfoot. Yep, that's who did it. Ron English. Oh, look, there's more pictures of them too. Wow, I don't have those pictures. I need to save that. I gotta do it now because I'll forget later. But see, that's what you do. You run into stuff, you need to save it because watch, tomorrow or the next, there'll be other things, and now I'll have close-up shots that people don't believe. They still believe in Beacon Bigfoot, okay?
No, this here just shows that the government actually has access to Bigfoot because you see they're in a government facility.
Is that a peepee on there?
Oh my God, they put him as Jesus.
Oh, wow, that's classic.
Oh my God.
Why not? Put him as Santa Claus next.
That's a good one to say for belief. So whenever we talk about belief, we could have that one.
Oh my God.
Sacrilegious, but
that's crazy. Look at all these pictures. I didn't have any of these ones when I did the.
I think these pictures are for prehistoric people.
Prehistoric people.
Like, you know, like it looks like it's is it a museum or what is it?
He has a what do you call it? A moving show.
Traveling show.
Expedition, a traveling expedition, exposition, whatever you call it.
Yeah, exhibition.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. All over. It just travels. And I knew that, but matter of fact, they were in Scottsdale, Arizona recently. But that's good. I got all those pictures. I'm gonna add them to my Bigfoot book of shame. Okay. And the next one was right here 4 days ago. Oh, you know what? That picture right there that one, that's a Mark Anders photo.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
This one's got a lot of pop-ups too. Southern Idaho's New Country is where we're at. Stop.
Did they say Southern Idaho?
It says yes, Southern Idaho. Video was recently published on YouTube claiming that some Bigfoot were caught on camera. You definitely have to check it out for yourself. Bigfoot caught on camera near Old Faithful. Oh shit, that's an old freaking photo.
Yeah.
It's not even in Idaho.
What the heck? What the? See, that's what happens. All this misinformation out there, folks. This was like years ago that this came out already. Of the skiers that come around this little corner over here.
Yep.
You know, the cross-country skiers come around here, but they're in a distance and they're wearing dark, so they look like Bigfoot. And there you go. That's all that is. I'm not going to go into more detail. There's people who still believe that too, that they were Bigfoot, but that cameras are focused right in that area. There's actually also footpaths all along there. So that's that one. And this is 3 days ago. Have we seen this one? Let's see what it is. It is. It says woman films Bigfoot jumping out of a tree.
Oh, that's when you have on your show. That's that little sculptor guy. Walking. That's a pervert, isn't it? It's a G.I.
Definitely not a bear.
Yes, not a bear. No, it's
Look at that.
Considering it's a
Let
fern
me
too.
just scroll down a bit and see if there's anything else. That's all. The rest is all going to be. Oh, click here to watch the video. Oh man. Okay, this
Don't
happened.
Don't click on the video.
Don't do it. I'm not. Diana Logan, just Thursday.
Look at the fern. The
People believe it won't stop moving. I'm sorry. There. Many people believe Bigfoot is not a physical creature at all. It's not a wild animal like a gorilla or a bear, but instead some kind of supernatural creature capable of fading in and out of existence or being cloaked. How else to explain how no one has ever found concrete evidence of their existence? No habitat, no bone, then the occasional blurry photo or smeared Bigfoot. But if that is the case, then there has got to be an easier way to get down from a tree than what this woman captured a Bigfoot doing on a recent video. Check this out. Oh, God. I clicked.
Are you going to click on it? Or did you?
Let's see. Yeah, I did. It's coming. I just have a lot of other stuff up, so it's taking a little bit.
Well, you're starting to lag a bit too. I know.
And people, and people are messaging me, so it's also taking. Okay. Woman feels Bigfoot jumping out of a tree. I just want to see the video. It's a TikTok, I think, but it's taking forever. Let me get rid of some of this stuff, and maybe that'll help.
Probably you just trap it.
Linda, why do I have this up? Oh, did any of you know Linda Godfrey?
No,
the
ever.
Cryptozoologist.
Yep.
Yeah, she passed today, so my
Oh, really?
condolences to the family.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
Suddenly, all the information I saw was suddenly passed. So that was what I had there. Okay. Oh God, it won't move. Come on.
Skip it. Have you seen it yourself?
I'm gonna take the sound off because I'll get dinged for it. We just want to see the video. Oh God.
You don't see what you're looking at.
It's the trailer. It's the tractor one where the thing where it's moving, where it moves. We all discussed this several times in different places already.
Well, that's a bummer.
I thought this for sure was the big one.
So close.
I know, you know.
Show me what you got. Oh, there it is. Friend of their 50.
Nothing. They show me nothing. Okay, so I don't know if this is sharing or not. I have to go down over here. Oh.
Brent.
Hey.
How's it going?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Oops.
Ooh. Oh man, you're all set.
Okay, this is Mrs. Linda Godfrey. She's an author and a cryptozoologist. She focused on the study of wildcats and is well known for other cryptids. And I think she even had something to do with the Beast of Bray Road, or did some kind of seminars or sessions with that, something like that.
Did she write a book about it?
Is she the one who wrote the book? I wasn't quite sure, so I didn't want to say she did write it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's who passed. Just anybody interested in that.
That's too bad.
Alrighty. Well, that completes our Bigfoot in the news. And now, what else did I have? You know what? I think we went through everything I really had to do today.
You should do another section called Bigfoot Online News.
Bigfoot Online.
We could talk about a few topics. It might take the whole show, but it's like, it'd be hard not to be a BS fest.
Yeah, for sure. So is there anything else anybody wants to cover today? I have no idea. Is Steve doing a show today?
I didn't see a thing yet.
I haven't seen it yet, but I got through this pretty fast. I'm trying to think. Feller Buncher? What?
Oh, I think he was talking about the video of what might be on the video. When you're talking about it was
it was a tractor
or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
Tractor. Yeah. It was a tractor.
Oh man.
It's an albatross.
An albatross. I wish for wings that worked. Bloom.
I didn't know her, so I just found out, but
yeah, I just knew of her. I mean, she was well known in like the Dog Man, and yeah, she was a reporter apparently, and did stuff for the cryptid. I think wrote some books, the Beast of Bray Road, and it's just sad when anybody passes. It's unfortunate.
Oh God, you're right, John. You did send me that picture for today, and that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to put you side by side with the with the Bigfoot to see. Somebody said that one of the Bigfoots looked like John Ayers, and so he sent me pictures of himself so I could do a comparison. And I'm sorry, I forgot. That's my bad. I did forget. I do have your pictures though. They're lovely. Thank you. Unless you want me to pull them up right now. I can.
We could pretend there's a Bigfoot standing next to him.
I do have your. Let's see. Oh, he's got a Bigfoot right next to him. So hold on. Here we go. They just don't make this easy anymore. There we go. Did it come out?
It could be cousins.
Do I have no, I don't have a thing there. Buffalo statues for sale. Baby buffalo. Oh, look, that alien, they chained him to the Where was this? I wonder where this was. Where was this taken at, John? Here, let's see. Here's this other beautiful picture. So serious. You're so serious, John.
So just on a side note, Matt just messaged us on my messenger, and Steve and notified us that he's outside his back barbecuing something, and big explosion. Yeah, so he had a video all the power's out in this whole area. So he's in there in front of the grill cooking. It looks good, whatever he's cooking, but it just happened to just minutes while we were on the air. It's live, you guys. So he filmed it. He said, "All there's the light on my head and this."
Oh my God!
I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, no one's been hurt or anything. It sounds like Transformer movie, but
oh geez, so he's lost all power and everything.
Lost all power. I should ask him, can I forward the picture? Yeah. So like 30 seconds.
Hold on.
Hope the power is back soon, Steve says to him.
Okay, hold on. How do I do this? Boom. Okay, hold on, Matt. I have to go back over here. They make this just not easy. There we go. And live from Florida.
Without his permission. Yeah,
Oops.
Volume.
No power. I'm alone with this light. Hey, it's Matt, Central Florida Bigfoot. Something just went boom, and we got no power. No power. I'm alone with this light and this grill.
Got me.
I think we're gonna live. Hey, it's Matt.
Need to put some suspenseful music in with that. Dun, dun.
Man, yeah, for sure.
It's a Borg.
Yeah. We're doomed, man. No. Yeah, totally. Especially that
guy in that drill.
He knew if he sends it to me, he knows that I was gonna put it up there.
That's good.
He was ready for that.
Yeah, Steve, I agree. Transformer going boom.
Yeah, that was really dark. Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining me this evening.
Welcome.
I think we'll cut it early tonight. How's that?
Sounds good. Go make some dinner.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah. You get all better there.
Well, I hope so. I'm looking at Joe's show tomorrow night. It should be an interesting show. Can't remember what we're talking about though. I've got such short-term memory right now with my brain. It's crazy. Yeah, so I'll sleep all night long and sweat it out of me, whatever's in me. So.
There was something I was gonna say. A lot of you have been sending me comments and texts about that promo I did. That it's my intro to the show, okay? But I had to download it onto my YouTube so I could do some shorts off of it and stuff. Promoting here. And you think that I've got this big documentary planned or something. That's not the case. I just needed to download it into my videos on YouTube. So because I had it not on there. So I appreciate that you think I'm going to be doing this big old documentary, but I'm not there yet.
No, you probably could with the way you edited it together and put it together and everything. You could probably. Yeah, absolutely. Good job with that.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. I really have respect for all these guys who go out and do all that because, it's a lot of work to do all that stuff.
Yep.
So, but thank you, gentlemen. If you have nothing more to say, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Don't forget, next week, be here again. And before you leave, if you mind hitting that little bitty thumbs up down there, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe and share. If you share, be kind to all your groups. If you like my content, I would appreciate it. Leave me a comment and love you guys. Adios.